Hello, I'm Rachel, and today we'll be talking about goal setting. So, this is part one of a three-part series, and part one will be talking about honest reflection. So, you want to reflect on your life and everything that's including, health, including wealth, including relationships, your career, your spirituality. There's so many things that you can reflect on. And then once you've done that reflection, then we'll proceed on to goal setting because you want to know the current and you want to know the future. So that's how you are able to bridge that gap. And so let's dive right in. So the first thing you want to do is reflect on the past, usually within a limited time frame where you haven't changed too much. So past 6 months to a year is pretty good, not something like 10 years ago where you obviously have changed. And there are three questions you want to ask yourself. So number one is what kind of actions or reactions that you want to stop because those are destroying your progress towards a better self. Number two is what kind of actions or reactions do you want to start that will be beneficial to your progress towards that future that you want. And number three would be what actions or reactions that you want to continue because they're currently contributing and going well. So those are still gonna, contribute to your progress and bring you closer to where you want to go. So let me just give you some examples. Number one would be relationships in the past 6 months, whether that's romantic relationships, whether that's friendships or kinship, or just sort of relationship with your family. So what have you been, doing so far? Like, how's your relationship with your parents, with your friends? And then you want to rate them between 1 and 10, 1 being, obviously not good, and 10 being perfect. So ideally, no one should be mentioning 10 because there's always room for improvement. There's not really like a perfection point, but you could be really high up, like at 9, and that would be awesome. And there might be just little things to improve on, like maybe calling your parents up a bit more often, or you might be at one where you're having like a strained relationship. And so you want to think about, okay, where you're at right now and what's causing that. Is it just because you haven't talked to that person, for some time? Is it because you've had an argument and no one bothered to make up? Or whatever the case is. So you want to reflect on the relationships in the past 6 months and you want to see, how are they going? Like, and also, the most important thing is how do you feel, like, what are your feelings towards these relationships? Like, are they important to you? Because obviously, you want to make progress in those relationships which are important to you. And the next one would be personal growth and development. I'm really huge on this because I believe that as humans, we should always be continuing our growth every single day, every single year, whether that's, becoming like the best version of yourself, whether that's learning like a new skill, reading more books, listening to more podcasts, going to more conferences and seminars, even trying out new things. Like, for example, you haven't created a website for yourself and you want to share your thoughts, then just create that website. And that's also considered personal growth and development. So you want to reflect on, what kind of personal growth and development have you done the past 6 months? Have you not read a book at all? Have you been like watching Netflix every single day? Have you been, just lazing around and just playing games all day? Or what have you been doing? What have you been doing to grow yourself? And rate this between 1 and 10 obviously being perfect. So the idea is you want to know where you are right now and how can you improve on these aspects, whether that's, reading more books, listening to more podcasts, whatever the case is, even learning a new skill. And the third example I have for you is health. So you want to review your health in the past 6 months. Have you been getting more stressed out lately? Have you got more headaches? Whatever the case your health is, whether you are overweight right now, whether you're underweight, how like have you tried to gain weight or lose weight? How has that been going? And then your body fat percentage, your exercise, have you been getting your daily exercise in, or Have you been keeping up, or are you just lazing on the couch? And it could also be like nutrition. Have you been taking, basically having takeouts, every single day? Because takeouts are usually not that healthy, because it is usually like more oil, more salt, more spice, whatever the case is. So the idea is you want to make sure that you're eating healthy meals. So you want to reflect on, how has your health been in the past 6 months? It's also known as physical here because it's your physical body that you're considering. And obviously, with nutrition, there's also the point about sugar, because sugar is like an inflammatory substance. So while sugar might, make you really sugar high and really happy, but that sugar crash is actually awful. And for me, I personally love sugar a lot. Like sugary drinks, so much love, but sugary food, not too much. The idea is I have been drinking quite a lot of sugary drinks sort of when I came to Australia. And I reckon that's probably part of the reason why I've gained a bit of weight as well. And so these days, I'm pretty much cutting down on sugar and almost having zero sugar in most of my meals that I can control. I'm also obviously having less takeouts, probably only maximum once a week, and I do try to cook myself. I mean, do some cooking myself, yeah. So basically, you want to review your health in these aspects in the past 6 months, including mental health as well, something I forgot to include in. And you just want to see like how is your mental health, emotional health, physical health going? Is there anything that you really want to improve on? Maybe that is like taking better care of yourself, giving yourself more self-love, things like that. And after reflecting, that's when we're going to set the goals. So that's going to be the next part 2, which will be next week, and just look forward to it. So other aspects you could consider is career and business. I've kind of categorized them together because I feel that they are pretty similar. Like most people have a career in entrepreneurship anyway. I mean, entrepreneurs have a career in entrepreneurship, and then the others would usually have like a 9 to 5. And they might have a side hustle, which I consider that business as well. So that's something that people can set goals for and also could reflect on. The next one would be finance, whether they're saving money or making money. Are they like putting money into their retirement funds? Are they making investments? Things like that. Spirituality is something that some people might think is a bit woo-woo, but if you are like, for example, having a religion, so if you're Christian, Buddhist, Taoist, Muslim, whatever the case is, so spirituality is, at least for me, it's quite important. I'm a Christian myself, and while sometimes, when life gets hard, you just kind of think like, oh gosh, why isn't why isn't this spirituality thing helping me? But in actual fact, maybe there's a lesson to be learned. Either way, I digress. That's out of the topic here. So in spirituality, like you want to reflect on, have you been meditating? Have you been like going to church? Have you been like praying? Have you been like practicing gratitude? Anything that you find could connect to your inner soul. Um, it's a bit hard to tell, but I'm sure you'll feel it because it's more of like sometimes kind of like a gut feel thing. So if you want to watch more of such videos and just to follow next week's video on goal setting, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you want more tips on living out your best life and value-driven content, I've got content on business as well. My social media links are on the top right-hand corner of the page there, which is mirror image. Enjoy! All right. Have a great day.